wake up, believe.
Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build a and all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Double your bed. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, double your bay. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Double your bay.
Wake up, believe. Wake up, believe.
Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Double your bay. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build a bay. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Double your bay. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Double your bay. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. changes. We are the changes, WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Us work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Us work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Us work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Us work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in wait, it's no time. Call in, it's no show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, call in, call in. Double your bed. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice so up in that place, no calling, double your bed. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation.
We welcome you to the program this morning. I'm Nuri Mohammed. It's a very hot day in Belize today. I'm coming out of some temperatures like 103 degrees yesterday. So yeah, this is our what they call dry season. It's very hot. We welcome you to the program and hope that our program today will cool you off a little bit. We have a major barbecue taking place on our compound today, and we want you to come by and support it. We'll be joining our people outside doing our program today, just to keep you an update. But we go through certain steps before we get into the main course. We give you a look at our weather and also a news package from our news center. So now let's go to our weather forecaster.
Good evening, Belize. A moderate and mostly dry easterly airflow continues. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for partly cloudy skies tonight, becoming clearer at times with low temperatures of 82 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 73 inland and 67 in the higher elevations. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny and warm.
The weather was mainly fair last night with no rainfall, and the seasonably warm and dry weather will continue today. The forecast for today is for mostly sunny and warm conditions with little or no rain. Tonight will be partly cloudy with the chance of isolated showers over the south. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to southeast at 10 to 20 knots, and the seas will be choppy. High temperatures today will be around 89 degrees Fahrenheit over the coast, 96 inland, but only 84 degrees in the Mountain Pine Ridge. The outlook for Saturday and Saturday night is for continuing generally fair weather with only light isolated showers. There is a low tide at 8:07 this morning and the high follows at 2:22 this afternoon. Another low is at 9:50 tonight and another high at 4:06 tomorrow morning. The sun rose at 5:18 this morning and will set at 6:20 this evening. The moon comes up at 12 minutes after 11 this morning and goes down at 11 minutes past midnight. In the fire risk forecast, the risk for forest and brush fires will be high today. In the sargassum update, there is the possibility that a few more sargassum mats could drift ashore during the coming days, resulting in moderate impacts on beaches across the country. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Former UDP Minister Elvin Penner is under investigation after Belize Defense Force personnel found him with items from a restricted explosive destruction zone in the Bali Beacon area of the Mountain Pine Ridge, where the BDF and OAS specialists have been carrying out the controlled destruction and of unexploded ordnance recovered nationwide following the fatal blast at the home of Dave Burgos in the Orange Walk district last year. According to the CEO in the Ministry of National Defense, Francis Usher, the team had already destroyed about 90% of the unexploded ordnance when a fast-moving fire broke out. They agreed to proceed with the destruction of the remaining 10% to eliminate the remaining threats. On Thursday morning, when they prepared for that destruction, the BDF team, quote, caught Elvin Penna in the area taking the charging wire and white phosphorus that is used for the exploding charges. He allegedly already had at least one roll of wire and 2 white phosphorus charges in his personal vehicle next to a container of fuel, which is extremely dangerous. The CEO said that they will pass on a BDF report to the police for necessary charges. For his part, Penner said that he was only trying to save the items from the spreading fire and that he never intended to keep them. He accused the BDF of repeatedly causing large fires in the area and claimed that some of the exercises are being done on private land without permission.
The picture that's painted right now is not in your favor. What they are saying in essence is that you trespass onto a location where you should not have been.
That is a very interesting way to look at it. But the properties that have been destroyed, part of the exercise was also done on private property. There's a very good chance that exactly where the detonations happened were on private property without them having anything in writing, giving them permission to blowing up people's property. And in the process, as a result of it, burning thousands of acres of private property. So who did the trespassing? By trying to save some wires that were left there by the BDF from being burnt. The same fire they created and they abandoned, seemingly, nobody was there to control it, was now all of a sudden raging back dangerously fast to the same spot where their exercise was happening. So before the BDF arrived, it was save whatever seems to be valuable because the fire is going to destroy it. Luckily, the BDF came, but relieved me of the wire and everything else that I had no intentions of keeping other than safekeeping. But to my surprise and to my disappointment, they were focusing now on that same having reached something there, but I'm trying to save the world, make this world a safer and a better place by fighting a fire and fighting a cause that we've been fighting for decades now with BATSA before and now the BDF doing exercises in a careless fashion where we, the landowners now, who by the way have privately bought these properties, pay the consequence. So hopefully we can do a field trip tomorrow. Where only, pictures, I can send you a lot of pictures. You see the picture in my background. Thousands of acres are torched. All these ashes end up in those streams.
The International Court of Justice, the UN's principal judicial organ, by vote of 10-4, has delivered a victory to the workers and the unions, affirming their right to strike is protected under the key ILO convention from 1948. At the same time, it declined to define the precise content, scope, or condition for the exercise of that right. Workers' representatives had asked the court to decline to issue an advisory opinion saying that it should be left to an internal issue of the International Labour Organization, ILO. However, the International Court of Justice, ICJ, noted that since 1952, the ILO, which comprises government workers, employers, representatives, could not resolve the question. It is expected that the opinion will shape future labor law reforms and regional case law. It takes into consideration the principles of regional human rights systems worldwide and the position of the ILO supervisory bodies. The ILO had requested the advisory opinion in November of 2023. Multiple states filed written submissions, including Belize, which stated that workers and unions have a right to strike in Belize as long as the law is followed. It also pointed to a judgment in the matter of the Port of Belize and the Christian Workers Union, which saw the judge rule that unions themselves can be sued, but individual union members are protected from liability in the case of a strike if they acted in good faith. Deputy Mayor Interlude Miller told XTV the Belize City Council will seek legal advice on reports of some $75,000 in missing funds, along with a claim that the issue led to a physical confrontation between himself and Councillor Alan Pollard. Both are reported to be seeking the mayoral post in the next municipal election. The report was later shared by a political news blog, and Miller says that it is mischief.
I was aware of the report yesterday afternoon. In fact, the report stated that there is missing funds at the council and there was some sort of altercation. I want to make clear that there is absolutely no missing funds at the Belize City Council, and there was no altercation of any sort, right? The Belize City Council, as you know, is a statutory local authority, really responsible to manage public funds and provide local services to the resident of the city. We are not simply a political organization. We have serious responsibilities, right? With that said, it's important to acknowledge that people cannot simply make these statements, right? They cannot just blurt out these assumptions out there or try to cause mischief in this kind of way. And so we're seeking the advice of our legal counsel to see what action we could take, because we have to hold these persons responsible. With that said, we have various levels of mechanisms in place that ensures fiscal responsibility and ensure that we are doing our part in being accountable to the people of the city. We recently underwent the Board of Survey on April 1st, a process that is led through the Ministry of Local Government. We recently underwent our annual review with the Ministry of Local Government as well. We continue to have an entire department within the Belize City Council, an internal audit department headed by an internal auditor. And so we have both internal and external. We just completed the audits for the financial year 2024-2025. We're actively working on the financial audit for the previous fiscal year that just ended March 31st. And so again, we have both internal and external mechanisms in place that would have flagged such an occurrence. So I must categorically state that those statements made are completely false. It's an effort to cause division where it does not exist, and it's an effort to bring the council in disrepute. We have a responsibility to our bondholders that invest in our city, and so we take these statements very seriously. And as I said earlier, we'll be seeking the advice of our legal counsel to see how we could address that situation.
There was no meeting about it yesterday.
In fact, I was at the gym when the post was made, and my phone started to blow up, and people asking me if I'm okay, and I'm telling them, no, I'm here exercising, right? I was at the council on 2 occasions yesterday to sign some documents, but in no way was there any sort of altercation, any special meeting, anything. It was a regular day at the council. And so it is completely baseless. And again, it's all an effort to bring the council into disrepute.
The Ministry of Home Affairs and Enterprise and the Board of Directors of the Colby Foundation announced that on May 19, Virgilio Murillo officially handed over his CEO responsibilities to Mr. George Gomez, concluding a planned 4-month transition process. Mr. Gomez expressed a strong commitment to working with the prison staff and advancing inmate rehabilitation and societal integration programs. In a release, the ministry and the Colby board highly recommended Mr. Murillo for his 24-year visionary leadership. He is credited with playing a pivotal role in the reforming and the management of the correctional facility under the Colby Foundation mandate. While stepping down from the top post, Murillo will not be leaving the institution entirely, as he will continue to serve as a special advisor to the board of directors. And that's our news package for this morning, the 22nd day of May, 2026. There's more news around 12 o'clock after the morning stew. Another update at 3 o'clock. and a full news broadcast at 5:15. Here on XTV, those are to be on Creme Radio. On XTV, we'll bring you the entire news this evening at 6 o'clock. It's now 2 minutes to 7 o'clock. We do have a guest coming in later on, but we'll open the phone lines for the first part of the program. Please stay tuned.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
All right, welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and I want to give a shout out to Miss Kuna there in Los Angeles, who is an avid listener. We got a lot of listeners in the diaspora, and she is one, faithful, Miss Kuna. Our numbers here, we're going to keep the phone lines open. We do have a guest coming in at 7:30. He was to be here last week, but he became ill, but he promised that he will be with us this morning, and we're looking forward to having a very vibrant conversation. But we will be interspacing our program today with bringing attention to our fundraising barbecue, which is taking place on the compound as we speak. So I think a little bit after 8 o'clock, you'll be able to, in fact, I think you could start maybe to come by 7:30, because I saw the chicken on the grill and it looks like, no, it might be ready by the next 15-20 minutes. So if you're going to come by and give support, we need your support. We are not one of those stations that receive strong grants and help from the government, etc. We basically run on the steam that you see here. I remember that Evan X. Hyde used to talk maybe 30 or 40 years ago that the only thing that kept a mandala on the street were the subscriptions and the sales that came from people who supported the newspaper. And it was not getting the amount of ads that you see filling up the paper today. It was not happening 30, 40 years ago. And so the paper had to struggle on its own steam and the support that it got from the public. And many of you out there are avid readers of the Mandala over the last half a century. It's that old. In fact, it is more than a half a century. It was from 1969. So you could imagine that this radio and TV station is an extension of that movement. And so, you know, we don't get handouts from the powers that be. We depend on you. Welcome, caller.
Hey, Assalamu alaikum, Brother Nuri.
Hey, Brother Daoud. Well, wa alaikum assalam.
Man, I see you got on your Vietnam era
Boy.
thing. You look like you're ready for combat, brother.
Boy, you look like you exposed me this morning. I borrowed my son's shot this morning. He's the revolutionary. I'm his vocative now.
Well, everybody could see it. You live on TV, but you look like back in the day.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Well, what I'm calling for, Brother Nuri, is what I'm calling for, Brother Nuri.
That's you know what they call that? They call that one pregnant pause. So I don't know when to go through your mind with that pause there. Before I forget, let me say Eid Mubarak in case I don't see you. And of course the Eid is coming up this Wednesday. The Eid al-Adha is the end of the Hajj period. We're in the 10 days of Hajj now, and it ends on the 27th, which is next week, Wednesday, where we gathered at the masjid for the Eid Salah. And so I know I want to see you, but just in case, you know, Eid Mubarak.
Well, Eid Kareem, Brother Nuri. I appreciate it so much, and may Allah accept our offering, inshallah.
Yeah. Tell me your reason now for calling.
Yes, the situation in Sudan.
Yeah.
I know it's a distance away from home, but the situation in Sudan is terrible. Millions of our African brothers and sisters has been pretty much in duress and distress given that conflict there, also in Mali. And I would like to call on our government and the Caribbean government to make a pronouncement, because it appears that apart from the conflict in the Ukraine and Palestine or Gaza, we are forgetting about our brothers and sisters that is going through so much hardship there in that part of Africa. Starvation due to drought, wars. It's very sad. And when I look at Brother Nuri, you know, Saudi Arabia have always been helpful to many Muslim countries and many non-Muslim countries. But when you look at it and to see how they would spend $100 million on a fighter jet from Europe or the US, just for one of those fighter jets. And man, those brothers they are Muslims. And they would just allow that starvation to go on and on and on. It is very, very sad. So we need to make the world aware of it. And then second, there have been over the years now, Brother Nuri, a mass migration of our brothers and sisters from Southern Africa. I'm not saying South Africa. Southern Africa, south of the Sahara. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, etc., trying to cross over the Sahara Desert to get into the Mediterranean and cross over to Europe for financial betterment as per se. Now, with Gaddafi being removed from Libya, Libya have become sort of a rogue state. And with that, you have a lot of small bands of criminals and gangsters and paramilitary people roaming that entire Maghreb area. And you know, Brother Nuri, they would capture these brothers. And as we speak, part of Libya, part of Morocco, and Tunisia, they have our black African brothers and sisters held in captivity next to a slave condition. Some of them they would literally kill, some would die. They just dump them out in the desert, no janazah or anything of that nature. And they would sell out a lot of our brothers and sisters. And that is wrong. They're claiming Islam. We as Muslims, we don't tolerate injustice. We don't tolerate racism. We don't tolerate anything that goes against any laws for that matter. So just bringing Belize people and the world up to speed with the conflict in the Sudan and that sufferation that our black brothers and sisters is experiencing in North Africa, Libya, Tunisia, and Morocco, where these bands of criminals have our people in captivity, release them, make them go back into their countries in Southern Africa, and you don't hold them hostage, because we don't do that in Islam. We give justice. And for them, even though those brothers, some of them even claim Islam as their faith. Most of them are animists or Christians, but you don't do that. We don't do that. So I'm calling on these people up there in Libya, man. Even though Libya do not have a centralized government, but you are violating their human rights.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up to speed. Nuri. And lastly, Brother Nuri, we need to get a little update on the ICJ. It is silence. Nobody is saying anything about it. If you have any information, I would appreciate if you could say something about what's the latest move on this ICJ, because as you know, we have our country at stake. Thanks again, Brother Nuri, for the time, and I want to reciprocally reciprocate to you. Eid Mubarak.
All right, and Eid Mubarak to you too, my brother. On the matter of the CARICOM, I do believe that CARICOM has spoken out on the tragedy of the Sudan in the Sahara area. Let's take the next call. Welcome, caller.
Hi, yes, good morning. I'm on the air right now.
You want to be on the air?
Yes.
You are on the air then.
Oh, okay. I just want to talk about this young lady, man, how he behaves so greedy, you know, and...
Which one are they you to talk about? Who you to talk about? Which young lady you talk about?
One young lady.
Huh?
She worked at health department. This young lady worked at health department, but she's greedy. She sees, because she sees people's stuff, you know? She went and she gone and she took everything after her mom died. She took everything from her siblings. What she don't, she mortgaged everything, everything, all the house, everything from her rest of siblings, because it's 5 of them. She took everything her, you know, she didn't do nothing for her mom more than give her 2 kids to take care of. Because she used to like, she looks like they about, she don't want the kids, she give them to her, to the grandparents, right? And now what she's doing now, she took the grandfather land, which don't belong to her, and is selling it right this minute. I don't understand how things like that can happen, you know?
Can I say something? Hello?
The grandfather land,
Hello, miss.
She's in the land.
You know they listen to me, man. No, man, you know they listen to me.
Another call no name,
that is exactly where I want you, because you make some, you make accusation.
This land don't belong to her. Her father was a crackhead.
You make accusation. No, man, wait, don't do it like that. Miss, wait, man.
This land don't belong to her.
You can't do it like that. You can't do it like that. Okay? You can't do it like that. Even though you know they call no name, you the fling word and you know him they listen to what we try say, man. You can't do it like that. This is no sounding board for you just call and cuss out people. No, don't do that. That's not right. You wouldn't want, if you, suppose I'm you. So I'm not saying that the lady not do where you say it do, but please, something like you did right the border wrong in name and then talk about your pa. Not do that. Please. Our number here is 280-5848. Not think you could just call Krim and say anything, oh yeah, Krim, and just make you go ahead and say, no, we don't do that. Because we are just as liable as any other broadcast media here. And we're going to hold to our responsibility. So please, if you have something to say it straight, man. All right? No fling word. 280-5848, 280-5848. On the call from our brother Dawood, I also wanted to say that the Saudi government is in fact making contributions towards the tragedy that is going on in the Sudan. They may not make it as newsworthy as buying an F-16, but monies are coming out of charitable waqaf of Saudi Arabia and going towards the deploring conditions of famine that is going on in the Sudan. I also want to say, my brother, that I am hoping, because of the way I'm reading the Ebola thing, that it's not contained yet. And I heard a report yesterday of it being seen also in the Congo, where a revolutionary group or a rebel group said that they saw signs of it hundreds of miles away from the epicenter of where it's taking place in the Uganda area. So we have to be very much aware that the Ebola strain is there. All right. Welcome, caller.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir.
That proverbial voice crying out.
I haven't heard this voice in a while. I thought it had faded into the dark.
I've been calling for a while.
I noticed.
But I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
These guys that go to prison and take to release, when they're at prison, they are locked up all day in a cell and get that 1 hour rotation, or these guys are put in?
No. They have a right to come out and to do the regular exercise. Remember, there's a human rights umbrella over our system now. So to answer your question, yes, they come out of their cell and they can go and do their exercise like the regular inmates, but they are in an isolated area.
Doing nothing all day.
Well, I wouldn't say that, because their mind is alive. They have books, they have other things that they can do. We are going in there twice a week to try to give motivation and to broaden their experience in there. But we can't do nothing about their liberation, because they are locked down. Their liberty has been taken away. But your freedom is not taken away, because your freedom is in your mind, is in your thoughts, is in your reading, it's in your planning, in your forethought. So you could be confined in a cell, as Malcolm X was confined in a cell, but his head was into studying, planning, what am I going to do when I am released? How am I going to handle it? So, you know, yes, they do have those rights to read, to exercise. They just can't leave there for 30 days.
But basically, most of them, well, when they're out here, they have these programs where they clean the drains, they do little work, they cut the grass and stuff, and they get paid.
Yeah.
Now they are locked up and doing nothing.
Yes, sir.
The main reason for calling.
Yeah.
What's the situation?
But what would you want to happen? I mean,
this farming program that these guys are supposed to go out in the bush.
Yeah. That's an embarrassment to even bring that up again, brother, because you are the man that consistently, since the launch of that program 3 years ago, you have been calling consistently to find out. And at one point I could have said, yes, this is going on, we're expecting this, but I can't say that anymore because that program is no longer activated. We hope that that program will get activated. But let me tell you what I told you the last time. We find that it is difficult to do a program like that simply by telling young man that, okay, Dr. Rosado gave us this piece of land and you're able to come now and go up on the land and do that. We did that in a very naive way by taking up a group of youths and taking them out there. But by the time they start to deal with mosquito and bacillus and that kind of thing there, it did not last. It only had maybe a couple of guys, Jervis Valentine and a few others that stayed the long haul. Dara can tell you about that because Dara used to pass and see them out there. But it did not amount to where the plan was, that it would have been able to say, look at these youths producing some vegetables and other things, and it didn't happen. It's not dead. That's something that can still happen, and I'm glad that you have the interest to call and to keep the feet to the fire. But honestly, it is not happening.
Now, there was at least one trial, one group of guys they was out there trying and
no, they were, but as I said, when we assessed it, the reason why a lot of youths broke off is because LIU did not plan it the way it should have been planned. We needed to have agricultural officers out there, we needed to have lessons, we needed to make a preparatory kind of program to get these guys in at the mine, in at the shrine of skills, etc., before they go into a program like that, a structured, organized program. But we didn't do that. What happened is just picked up a group of guys. Me, I want to go, this one want to go, that one down. So a group of guys was picked up and placed there, but one by one, they jumped ship. And, you know, so it needs to be done again. And I'm glad that you're calling because, you know, we are an agricultural country. As important as tourism is, we are an agricultural country.
With the prices of vegetables and the other foods.
Exactly, my brother. Exactly. Yeah. But these things take not only vision, but they take organizing. And, you know, a lot of times that's where we drop down. We're great with the idea, but we drop down with the follow through, because the follow through is not emotional. It is very disciplined. It's a wake up the morning, 5 o'clock, get out there, do what you have to do, etc. So it's not a TV thing. It's not a, you know, when the news media come and we, you know, talk about this and that. No, it's waking up every single morning and doing what you need to do. And I go on Lee Greenhouse and I could tell you, my brother, it's work to do anything where you do with the land, as it takes work.
My next question, when will you have Jerry and me get back on?
Why? You know, I told you a couple of weeks ago, we have certain persons, Jerry being one of them, Dickie Bradley being one of them, Dr. Sosa being another, that we try to...
I wish one morning you could have Dickie and Jerry.
No, that would be a bombshell. Yes. Yeah, that would be a...
Interesting.
Indeed. Well, thanks for that idea, because...
I'm hoping for him to post what he said, he had some professor from some university doing a redistricting thing. I was hoping to see what that would look like.
I don't know about that, but yes, it would.
Redistricting is something that I keep saying we have to get it done and we have to do it right.
Yeah, but we already know what has to be done. I mean, going back to the Belize Peace Movement and then Jerry's efforts to try to bring the government's attention to it, it's not that the government doesn't know what to do. It's that the government chooses not to do it and has been choosing not to do it, and now promises us that before 2026 is over, they will do it. So, you know, when they say, well, you know, sometimes you get promises and you hold your breath. Don't hold your breath with promises. Just wait and make we see what happens. All right?
Good morning, Belize. Good morning, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate your call all the time. We've got a few more minutes before 2 cents scam. So if you'd like to call, our number here is 280-5848, 280-5848. There was a great tragedy in San Diego, California, where 2 young men made an attack on the Muslim place, educational center, religious community, and they were able to pass the first barrier before they ran into a very brave security personnel, Brother Abdullah, who engaged them in a firefight and in the process was killed. And 2 other members of the community also distracted them, and so these 2 individuals were not able to actually get into the school that had over 142 young students. Had they gotten into that school with those high-powered rifles, it could have been far more tragic than it was. The 2 individuals were retarded. They jumped back in their vehicle, and when the police found them, they had committed suicide. They had killed themselves. And it is a tragic situation. It is tragic when places of worship within us here in the West, because we are used to seeing it in other parts of the world. Mosques are blown up, synagogues are blown up. We're not used to seeing it in this part of the world, and it is a tragic situation. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, brother Nuri, good morning.
Morning, my brother.
Sorry to cut your process.
You know they cut me, man. This is why we're here.
Quick thing. You know if there's a shortage premium fuel?
I just know I bought premium yesterday. I normally full up with regular, you know, and I buy a full up. But when I usually...
Because I go to a certain gas station and I ask the premium, because if it's cheaper, I want to buy that.
Yeah.
That's only common sense.
Yes.
But I don't got no premium. I have to still end up getting regular with their so
I don't know whether or not...
I want to know if government know.
Yeah.
There is a shortage, and that's why they raise the price. You know, and regular, because they know the regular premium, I will know you have to buy the regular anyway, very expensive. So they wonder, because they know, then they acquire fuel,
Yeah.
so they know.
Yeah.
So they wonder if that's the case, why they raise the price for regular, you know?
I never thought about it like that, but, you know, that's a conspiracy that could be very real, because they know a long time how much fuel they got in there. So, you know, but I don't know any facts to that. I do know that yesterday I did not put in gas from regular. I did it from premium. And there was no shortage at the station where I was.
If the premium cheaper, definitely you won't buy the cheaper fuel. That's common sense.
Yes, yes, indeed.
One quick thing, Nuri, one quick thing. I know I stay too long.
All right.
As black people, and it's a worldwide. Worldwide.
Yeah.
So much billions black you have worldwide. In life, as a black person, whether male or female, we come into this world at a disadvantage. And you have to know that.
You have to know it. If you don't know you at a disadvantage because of your color, something is wrong with you. So that's our hill are ready to climb. And in this same life, we know that a lot of people around us, which seems like they like black, they don't like you. They don't like you. So this thing you have to get in mind when you come through this world. And you have to make preparation in this life for that. If you fool yourself and believe you they are wrong people, when you believe love you to make one big mistake in a life, no? Big mistake in a life because you want to take one lick. You have to know yourself. You have to know your circle in a life. And you have to get a certain mindset to navigate through this life as a black person. And don't make people use you like they love you and they fool yourself. And then they fool you because you will take lick in your entire life as a black person if you don't realize that. Take care, Brother Nuri.
All right.
And you have a great day.
All right, my brother, you said a lot this morning. It's 7:31 and we stop now for 2 Cents Cam. And 2 Cents Cam is brought to you by Fort Point Security.
You're watching WUB, this is XTV. Want to say big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. Alright, so you don't know, tomorrow, hey, big up Friday. Let me see who want big up Party Friday. That is it.
Who you want big up? Big up all the retirees back there where they try to get a pension because I soon reach their level. So I big up the people that protest for their leave money, right?
Yeah, big up Friday, who you want big up?
Big up the restaurant over there.
Okay.
The best food in Belize.
All right.
Right there.
I big up me, ma. I'm a baby.
Don't say.
Myself today. Because I'm my dear. Respect.
Meal Prep Restaurant, 2nd floor, downtown plaza.
I'm a karate instructor, so I big up all my students and all my student parents. That the parents are the motor behind it.
Now you're big up.
Yes, I.
All right.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing hereby advises the public of the commencement of works for temporary bridge crossings at 2 locations in Belize City. The first temporary bridge crossing is being constructed near the Belcan Bridge, extending between the Belize Water Services Limited (BWSL) parking lot on the south side and the vacant lot adjacent to the Save You store on the north side. Construction of a second temporary bridge crossing near the swing bridge between the Bottom Dollar parking area and Regent Street West is scheduled to commence during the week of May 18, 2026. Works at both locations generally include driving of foundation piles, placement of bridge girders, construction of reinforced concrete deck structures, associated marine and support works. To facilitate construction activities, barges and other marine equipment may be positioned within the Haulover Creek and may remain in place until work is completed. The temporary bridge structures are being constructed to maintain public access and traffic circulation during the planned reconstruction of the Swing Bridge and Belcan Bridge later this year. MIDH advises all mariners and users of the Haulover Creek that active construction zones will be in effect at both locations. As such, all marine vessels are hereby advised that a no-wake zone will be enforced for approximately 200 feet on either side of each construction area. Operators of marine vessels and all users of the Haulover Creek are asked to exercise caution when navigating through work zones, observe all posted signage and safety instructions, reduce speed and comply with no-wake restrictions, remain attentive to construction personnel and equipment, extend courtesy and cooperation with workers on site. The Ministry thanks the public and the maritime community for their patience, understanding, and cooperation as we work to modernize and improve the nation's infrastructure. For further information on the project, please contact the Project Execution Unit at 614-3195.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter. Smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
We are back and we're waiting for our guests. Our number here is 280-5848, 280-5848. And one of the things that our brother mentioned also is that many of the people in the south of the Sahara who are trying to get out of very difficult, extremely difficult financial situations caused by colonialism, yes, but also caused by corruption of those governments that have taken after. But added to that were the fact that there were these European systems that were exploiting many of these smaller countries because they were most interested in the valuable minerals that were in these territories, and that during colonialism they were totally and completely in charge of this, with only using local native leadership as their proxy. And when independence and so-called decolonialization took place, many of those who remained in power were repeated puppets of these same European regimes that were making billions and billions and still making billions of dollars extracting raw material, which is in turn processed through European and sometimes processed through factories that are right there on the continent, but value added material, so that when you pick up something like a diamond and you're paying 5, 6, 7 million for it, that was taken out of an area where the person who found that got pittance for it. Welcome, caller.
Yes, Brother Nuri, I'm going to be brief. I just wanted to say this. The fuel, you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, the brother that called in about the fuel, the premium is a high-octane fuel. And for the newer vehicles, like the 2014, 2018, it is going to burn good. But older vehicle, like say the 90s, the early 2000s, using the premium fuel in those older vehicles, it's gonna burn out very fast, even though it is much cheaper. So us as cabbies, taxi driver, we use the regular fuel because you get a much better gas mileage using the regular fuel than the premium. So I just wanted to say that to bring you guys up to speed, even though the price is cheaper.
Indeed.
And then you never answer me in terms of the, I know you got distracted about the ICJ thing. And lastly, Brother Nuri, we have two of our prime ministers that is still around with us, Brother Said and Brother Dean Barrow. I would love to see how you could invite those brothers to come on together with Evan X and yourself, because as you know, in Africa, our elders is people of wisdom. Thanks to Allah that you're still around, Brother Nuri. You're still standing strong. You're still helping us in your wisdom. So bring on Brother Barrow, bring on Brother Said. We know Brother Said have a little medical situation, but I know he's an old revolutionary, so he could make it upstairs there. And, you know, those brothers was in the forefront for us, for Belizean people. And we love them, and we cherish them, and we want to see them, you know, tell us what they got to tell us, man, because in Africa, the whole world, the elders is whom we look up to for wisdom and guidance, especially in this time that we are living in. Thanks again, brother.
All right, brother, you're striking a very important chord there, Dawood, because in fact, it is our tradition, and it should be our tradition to learn from our elders. The older you are, the more you have made errors and mistakes that you have learned from, and the best you can do from learning from your mistake is to educate young people in the same vein, that are heading in the same direction, that may fall into the same traps that you fell into, that you are able to guide them and navigate their way so that they could avoid those distractions that you may have fallen into. Now that's a big order. Boy, could you imagine a conversation between Said Musa, Dean Barrow, Evan Hyde, and myself? Could you imagine Evan Hyde sitting here, me sitting here, Said on Zoom, and Dean on Zoom, sitting in the comfort of their home, but still being able to answer? Because there's nothing wrong with these men's minds. They just have physical problems, but mentally they are very alert, very astute. In fact, Dean is still in the courtroom. So it would be, but that would be almost like a dream. I don't know Evan Hyde having been on any camera since the Amandala show, and that's going back a long time. He calls here from time to time to speak to myself or Mose, but he has not made an appearance. But mentally, he's still very active. Every single week there's a new series of ideas that he's presenting from the publisher, whether reviewing history or speaking on a current affair. So it would be a great, boy, you're making I feel wholesale and all to think about the four people that you're mentioning to be on the air. Welcome, caller.
Good morning, brother.
Morning, sir.
Take me one or two quick or whatever.
Please.
But I knew as a Belizean, I think we need to wise up, and we need to get we act together, and we need to tighten up and go. Then, but real Australians, they do not care about the Belizean people. They're talking like they do care about the Belizean people. They do not. But I know I look at the gas price. I mean, come on, man. What is there doing? We can't sit down and listen to them, brother, and just take everything. We got to do better on this. Thank you.
All right, sir. Yeah. On the ICJ, brother, I can't tell you anything because we have not heard anything public. I think the last statement we heard was maybe a couple of months ago when they were talking about allowing the Guatemalans to join the claim which the Honduranians had brought forward, etc. But on our substantial case, I have not heard any update. So it's good that you're bringing that forward, Brother Dawood. Something else that you spoke about was the killing off of these Africans before they make it into Europe. And I'm saying that the Europeans who were part of that century-long, more than a century-long exploitation in those countries are now feeling the result of having created great economic hardship in these countries that they once exploited and in some cases are still exploiting. When the migrants run from those countries trying to find a place that they could get an ease, of course it is Europe where they go. And here's the point I'm making to you, Dawood. Many of the European countries are paying middle countries to see if you could stop those people from passing you to come into the Mediterranean. And, you know, it could very well be, I have not read any report, but it could very well be anecdotally that these persons who are going after these migrants, and I have heard the reports of slaughter of these migrants, is in fact working on behalf of those who are trying to keep these migrants from coming into the European arena. Because in the European arena, even if you're a drain sweeper, you'll make more than what some people are making as high government officials in some of these countries. So you could understand why the Europeans are trying to hold on to their asset. And they too are going through the economic difficulties. The world is not only going through economic difficulties that are hard on people of color. People right within these countries of Europe, Estonia, and I won't say Ukraine, but all of these European countries have a standard of living far beyond where ours are, but compared to where they were, they are also finding a pinch in the economic situation. And so as they are finding problems with their job security and finding out, and we saw that right here in Belize, for example, if they are making $12 an hour, and I'm giving you very small money here, but for discussion's sake, if they're making $12 an hour, and an immigrant comes in with a master's degree, but no papers, and are willing to work for $2 an hour, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing these people who are coming out, many of them with education in their own country, but cannot find employment in their country. They migrate. And by the way, we the migrant people too. We gone to America, and many of the Americans were very upset with us coming over from the Caribbean because we were going in there and doing jobs they didn't want to do. And that's why some of them, once they find out that we in our ear, they call ICE so that ICE could come and deal with us, because they look at the immigrant issue as a serious cost of living issue for them. And we too used to complain about that until they normalized it for us here. But there was a time that we were making a lot of complaints. We used to curse those people, paisa, to come in and they take over we job there, to come in. So we had immigration issue likewise, just like these other people have immigration issues in their country. But in some areas, it is more deadly and dangerous. We never killed our immigrants. We never jailed them in the way in which these people are jailed. Yes, we picked them up, we put them in jail, we took them through a legal process, got their embassy involved, and then deported them. But in these cases, sometimes if you see the conditions under which these immigrants are living, trying to get into Europe, man, it's almost like slavery. So, yes, Dawood, you brought a very important point that we should not forget, that in fact there are immigrants that are being killed, and many of them indeed are Muslims, and they're not given their janazah, which is the sacred way in which Muslims bury their own. We call it janazah. They are not given janazah. They're just thrown out there in sometimes just to rot. And so it's good that you brought it forward. We'll take the next break and we'll be coming back. Look here. Has Mr. Medina, Dr. Medina come yet? Huh? He says he's close. He's close.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing hereby advises the public of the commencement of works for temporary bridge crossings at 2 locations in Belize City. The first temporary bridge crossing is being constructed near the Belcan Bridge, extending between the Belize Water Services Limited (BWSL) parking lot on the south side and the vacant lot adjacent to the Save You store on the north side. Construction of a second temporary bridge crossing near the swing bridge between the Bottom Dollar parking area and Regent Street West is scheduled to commence during the week of May 18, 2026. Works at both locations generally include driving of foundation piles, placement of bridge girders, construction of reinforced concrete deck structures, associated marine and support works. To facilitate construction activities, barges and other marine equipment may be positioned within the Hallover Creek and may remain in place until work is completed. The temporary bridge structures are being constructed to maintain public access and traffic circulation during the planned reconstruction of the Swing Bridge and Bellican Bridge later this year. MIDH advises all mariners and users of the Hallover Creek that active construction zones will be in effect at both locations. As such, all marine vessels are hereby advised that a no-wake zone will be enforced for approximately 200 feet on either side of each construction area. Operators of marine vessels and all users of the Hallover Creek are asked to exercise caution when navigating through work zones, observe all posted signage and safety instructions, reduce speed and comply with no-wake restrictions, remain attentive to construction personnel and equipment, extend courtesy and cooperation with workers on site. The Ministry thanks the public and the maritime community for their patience, understanding, and cooperation as we work to modernize and improve the nation's infrastructure. For further information on the project, please contact the Project Execution Unit at 614-3195.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today. For quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
I am so excited, so happy. Thank you again, Minister. Thank you, everybody that show up here. And I love to see the whole foundation. It looks so beautiful. I'm a fair victim, and so far when my structure went down to nothing, I was down. I had to start from scratch. Now I can do my best. I can extend it. I can do good to it. I really love it, really happy, and really blessed with it.
Her daughters and son can have an environment where they can study, they can sleep safe, they can feel safe. But more important is that it uplifts their confidence, their self-esteem. And at the same time, this is a good testament of what MIDH is doing and the government of Belize through Plan Belize 2.0 to get people out of poverty. I myself grew up in an extremely poor situation whereby I wish I could have owned one of these houses when I was growing up. But since I didn't have that privilege, but now God has blessed us through other ways where we're better off, we have to bring that blessings to the people that have that need.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
right, welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and our guest this morning is Dr. Michael Medina, and we have been anticipating his appearance on the show for a few weeks now, and we're happy that he is here. Let me introduce him. Welcome, first of all, Dr. Medina. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Mr. Mohammed.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself before I get into some details here?
Sure. Well, first of all, my initial, well, I came to Belize about 21 years ago.
Okay.
But of my background is that I studied psychology in my first years, and some years in the middle I switched to medicine.
Okay.
And then after studying medicine, practicing medicine, I encountered a lot of mental health. So because of my background, I was able to focus a lot on mental health, even as a general physician back in Nicaragua. And then when I came to Belize 21 years ago, it was the same. I did a lot of family medicine, and a lot of people that know me knows this, right? I work in Cleopatra White and Metron Roberts. I mean, doctors were tired of me, nurses, because I always focus on mental health first.
Yes.
So I had to, after I did a master's and some online trainings, and because of my natural abilities towards mental health, I diverted towards mental health from early, and I had an experience in 2009, which was working in an addiction center with Americans, so that inspired me to go deeper. So after I came back into service a year or two, and then I decided just to go into mental health for private.
Okay.
So that has been my story. 10 years in, about 12 years in private practice as a mental health consultant. So I do psychiatry, and I also do a lot of psychotherapy.
Okay. Well, let's look at the problem then, because the reason why we asked you to come here, as I mentioned to you in our text back and forth, was because I sense that we are in a mental health crisis in Belize. This is completely unprofessional, just from observational and the type of work that I do. How serious is this problem from a professional standpoint? Are we talking about depression? Are we talking about anxiety, trauma, addiction, or all of the above?
So what you see, addictions to drugs, gambling, sex addiction, alcohol addiction, all of these things are just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
Right? Depression, anxiety, even though we have a way that we have a way to label those things. At the end of the day, every diagnosis of depression, anxiety, trauma, all of these things, deep down also has a biology. It's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Underneath, we have a lot of trauma, a lot of shame that are the main engine for these disorders, right? And I think this root, it's hardly addressed, unless maybe in a deep counseling, deep psychotherapy, maybe could be addressed. But you can mention anything we can go into, and I will tie it to childhood trauma, and then I will make it very clear for you, right?
Okay, yeah, all right. Because what would you say, I've heard you mention several things just now, but what would you say are some of the main causes of what we're seeing manifesting itself in Belize? Would it be family issues? Would it be drug issues? Maybe you could select one of them and give us some deeper underneath, because I think you're talking about the tip of the iceberg compared to the major thing below. There's also this issue of spiritual emptiness that some people are dealing with. They're in religion, but they don't feel that they're getting anything out of religion. They go to church or they go to their meetings regularly, but still there is that emptiness going on. So talk about your experience with some of these major causes that show itself in the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, so let's talk about first aggression. Aggression is everywhere. right? From someone cutting into traffic and you're yelling, or you're not letting someone pass because you're angry, or the mom that hits her child and normalize it thinking that it's okay. From you go to a store and maybe an employer is in a bad mood and maybe raises his voice or her voice. So you see aggression everywhere and it's normalized, right? So kindness seems to be a luxury where, oh, this person is so kind, you know, like something special. But actually, my point of view, that's the way it should be. Everybody should be kind because it's in our nature. It's our God nature to be kind. But we see it now as a luxury. And aggression is now normalized, right? Discrimination, aggression, even aggression from government towards employees and family members towards other family members. Now, like aggression is everywhere and is normalized. And from that, we could say that many factors converge, right, for that aggression. But let's talk about first, which I think is important when you educate people in mental health, is that people confuse anger with aggression and aggression with violence. That different things. I think that's very essential to understand those three things. So anger, for instance, is healthy. Anger signals when something is wrong, when something is unjust. It's a, you know, God gave us that for us to know, to look for truth, to look for justice, right? So if you yell at me, I could feel upset because, you know, that's unfair. And that's a feeling. So anger is just a feeling, right? That you could say, I'm upset, I acknowledge that I'm upset, but it's not aggression. So people confuse that because then when you clench your fist, from the moment you're tense and you make a face of, that's aggression, right? Aggression that could turn potentially into violence, right?
An aggression directed at the person who had caused you to be upset.
Yes, and not necessarily. It could be aggression towards me. Because if I clench my body and I'm doing this is aggression already. It's not anger. Anger is the feeling.
Yeah.
I could feel anger in a relaxed way, and that's what I do in my therapy sessions. I allow people to feel the anger in a relaxed body so they can acknowledge how angry they are, right? But aggression doing this, it avoids for me to acknowledge my anger, and I go straight into aggression.
So are you saying that the normal person, when feeling offended, can get angry, which is normal?
Yes.
But the abnormal person with that same circumstance feels aggressive?
Aggressive, but then we normalize, and then we call that anger. Oh, the person was angry. But they don't differentiate that. No, that's aggression. And I have gotten angry a lot of times, and then I talk and I express my anger, whether it's my daughters or my wife, and they think I'm cool. No, I'm angry. It's just that I'm not expressing aggression. And people confused because they think, oh, you're not angry, because the aggression is so normalized that we think that's the way it should be.
I see.
Right? So a person who is mentally healthy will acknowledge his anger or her anger and communicate that without aggression. That is a mentally healthy person.
Can a mentally healthy person, when angry, very angry, but simply tells the person who has caused that anger, you know, I'm angry?
Yes. He could say nice in a quiet, in a very nice tone, say, I am angry, you have hurt me, and you know, we have to talk about this. But I'm feeling very, very angry. And my face is relaxed, my body is okay. You don't feel my threat because I am not tense. That aggression is something that potentially come into violence. So if my body is tense and I have this aggression and I start hitting the wall, now it's violence that could also be directed to a person. Hitting a person, that's violence.
All right. I'm in a vehicle, somebody cuts in front of me, which is normal around here, and I feel angry.
Yes.
Okay. But I can't tell him. So I get from my hand to make you understand.
Okay.
I'm not upset, I'm making a lot of noise, but I'm making you understand. I don't like that.
So that is aggression.
That's aggression.
And now if you chase him or try to,
that's rage then.
That's rage. It's turning now into violence.
Yeah.
Because from the moment you push in your car, now that is violence, because potentially you could hurt someone. So violence is when you potentially can hurt someone in a very pretty bad way, or maybe not that bad, but still you're hurting that person. Now, if I offend you and I tell you the worst possible things, I am doing violence in words.
Words, exactly,
right? Also, aggression can turn into passive violence. So if I am at work and I am angry at you first, and then I'm turned to aggression, it turns into violence where I try to sabotage you, that's violence, right? So if you have a job and your supervisor is trying to sabotage you so that you can get fired, that's already violence in a passive way, right? But it's violence because that will hurt you. So anything that could turn into hurt, whether psychological or physical or emotional, that is violence.
That
already.
is violence. That is violence.
So
and
we
that
have
is,
to be
that is
careful.
aggression.
Yes.
Also, yeah.
Aggression now turning into violence. Violence already the damage, but aggression is you being tense and potentially maybe, you know, yelling high. And
what about the person who, and you're touching something very important that I think relates to a lot of us. What about this idea of passive aggression, where you're in a situation, particularly in government, where you have standing orders, you have certain rules you can't do, but you have to find a way. I'm going to get back to you.
Yes.
But I'm got a smile on my face.
That's passive aggression.
But I am coming at you, and you could feel that I'm coming at you, but when you look at me, I'm smiling.
That's passive aggression, but when it damages the person, now it's passive violence, right? Because
and it doesn't have to damage the person physically. It could cause him to
emotional damage or financial damage. That's violence. Aggression is before violence, where aggression could be an attempt to try to make you feel uncomfortable or something, but it has not caused damage yet. So that's aggression, passive aggressive, right?
So you would say jinx, which is something we do a lot of, and mock and talk about you to other people would be forms of this type of violence.
Now, aggression, let me give you an example. So because people might be asking, okay, what's the difference, aggression and violence? But let me give you an example. So I have a relationship with my wife, and then she did something to me, I feel upset. Now I don't talk to her for one day. Okay, that could be aggression. But now I'm not talking to her for weeks, and because I'm not talking to her for weeks, I am not maybe giving her money or helping her what she needs. Now it's turning into violence because it's damaging her financially, it's damaging her emotionally because I'm not talking to her at all. So that's violence already.
And we could actually be doing this without even lifting our hands.
Correct. So the example of the car, when you start to horn, and okay, that's aggression, but then you go and
bump him,
and okay, that's violence already, because you cause a damage, whether it's financial, whether it's psychological or physical.
What is it that causes some people to be able to grasp immediately, I'm going over the edge, let me pull myself back, and some people who cannot hold back from going over the edge? I wanted to answer that with that underlying. What is it that would cause that personality to explode so easily, violently?
Yeah, correct. So that's a very good question. So once we define these three terms, important, then we have to talk about mood regulation. And mood regulation is an ability of your brain, right, and also some skills for you to regulate your emotion. So again, we go to the example. I had a little argument, a disagreement with my wife, and then I feel the anger coming. I am able not to allow it to turn into aggression or violence, but I'm just able to acknowledge it, sit with it, and say, okay, this is how I'm going to respond. I'm going to go and talk to her. That is what is called emotional regulation. So my brain has the ability to acknowledge, so it tells me, okay, this is how you're feeling, I'm acknowledging how I'm feeling, but my emotion is not escalating anywhere to turn into an aggression or violence, because I am able to regulate myself. That is the basis of everything, right? So people have ability to regulate emotionally in a different level. Some people do it extremely well, some people do it somewhere, and some people do it poorly. They have no emotional regulation at all. So these are the people that turns a little disagreement into
instant
physical violence, where they punch, domestic violence, for instance, right? So it's not that these people are bad necessarily. So we'll talk about that difference, because it's good to differentiate people that are bad, maybe what we call technically psychopath, and the people that are regular people, are okay, good people that can also do violent stuff, right? Because they have poor regulation system.
I want to touch that, even though I have several other questions. We have to bring you back for a part 2, because I'm only on my second question here. But we are seeing in the news, domestic violence is what it's called. And when you see the personality of the individuals involved, sometimes your jaw drops, because you say, man, I know that young man. He's not like that. I've never seen him with that unregulated emotional attitude at all. And for him to be beating up his woman like that, and it's going on all the time. We don't catch it on camera like we catch it every so often. But then you see him back out there and he looks quite normal. He don't look like somebody that would hurt a fly. But go ask your wife. Not only is she suffering physical violence from him, but she's also getting emotional violence from him. And sometimes economic violence. And I want to give you that money where you're supposed to get.
Exactly.
So what causes him, without going into schizophrenia, what is it that causes him to seem so normal out here when he's working with everybody and he's one of the happiest guys in the workplace? And then we hear what he do to his wife and his son and his daughter. What's happening there?
Okay, so if that is isolated like that, the thing that pops in my head the most often is maybe a narcissistic personality. Right? Because people with narcissistic personality or inflated narcissism, they're going to be nice out there. They seem regulated, they contain themselves, but they treat their family members, the kids, the wife, constantly. So it's not something when they got anger, aggressive, violent, maybe that they lost it once in a blue moon. They're constantly doing that aggression, that violence, right? That, when it's constant, that's most likely narcissism or someone with traits of psychopathy, right? So we have to talk about those two too, because a lot of people not realize that, okay, this person is narcissist. Now with the social media, it's kind of people are getting exposed to this topic of narcissistic personality, right? Because it's more common in men. Right? So that could be a basis.
Yeah, I want to go into this a little bit more after this break, because there's this thing I want to touch on a little bit later on called personality disorder, which apparently is not considered a mental problem, but personality issue. So I want to make that differentiation. But I want to come back and also look a little bit more at that domestic violence, because it seems to be constant every time. It's either that it's increasing, or it's that we're becoming more aware that it's always been there. We got a saying that believes, see me and live with me, are two different things. So we see you out there the way you are, but go ask your wife. And if she's really candid about how you would treat her. And then sometimes the wife come out and, oh, he's nice, he's fine, he's all right. She's covering your insanity. But she knows that you're a violent person. They don't have to go up on TV for us to find out. But she always knew. When we come back, we'll touch that a little bit more. We'll be back.
Prepare for the sweltering heat with a Rheem AC unit to keep you and your family cool and cozy. Get the recommended BTU for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save some much needed cash with an inverter unit, which provides superior energy efficiency. When the heat is on, stay cool with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Rheem. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Now that we have the new water system, it has improved the lives of these people a lot.
The life of my village get better. Now we have our potable water in our house.
الشال شقيل بال بس استخا أكري شديش لقها أوستيك ما نخليها عن قتيو أم أوستيك بانكوش مان كمان نشبانكو تو نكوشيك شتاو ألقها نكاشوك شقوك نكوشيك شقوكات بس نخبانك أوستيك بياك.
I thanks for the minister to help us for drilling this well and give us the pump.
Right now, I see my village is getting good. I see water system, I see road, and we have our health post there.
We want to say thanks to the government of Belize, thanks to those that were there for Machakila, and we truly appreciate the support that is given.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican link-up, the Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Some hands do more than carry. They prepare, they fix, they comfort. They keep a home moving in ways few people notice. And even when the day is done, they are still thinking of home. For the months of May and June, we celebrate the hands that hold the home together, offering you 25% off on tiles, lights, fans, ACs, gardening supplies, and more, both in-store and online. Thank you, moms and dads, from Builders Hardware.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm going to help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Interesting conversation this morning with Dr. Michael Medina, and he has been really sharing some interesting analysis of some of the issues that we're facing. You talked a lot about this sort of contained way in which we behave, where we could appear on the outside to be quite normal. Mm-hmm. I mean, we sit, we talk with friends, but then we got a whole completely different attitude when we get home or we get into a space that we are seen as, this is me, this is the real me. Where is that coming from? Is that something that is circumstantial? I mean, I become like that because of certain thing? Or were there some underlying things that could have been detected from the time that I was young?
Everything in mental health, like physically, right? So if, for example, if you are diagnosed with diabetes, we can say, oh, genetics caused it. We can say, okay, maybe it was the environment because then you drink a lot, you don't take care of your diet, you don't exercise. But the fact is that it's many factors converging, right? And mental health is no different. So it has to do with the environment, it has to do with your family upbringing, and it has to do with your genetics. Everything converge to produce your behavior, and if or whatever diagnosis, a label that you want to put into those behaviors and symptoms and signs, right? We put labels. But I think it's important to differentiate, going back to anger and violence, and I mean, anger is normal, but I'm saying aggression and violence. Let me break it down to 3 different possible sources here, right? So one is the typical, which is the most common, is people have gone through a lot of trauma in childhood. They never got that safety, they never got that love. They only got yelling, they only got physical punishment, and they got a lot of neglect. These are people that their brain never developed properly, so they have a hard time regulating their emotions. So these are the people that they're triggered easily, whether at home, whether at work. They're always going to be those impulsive people, aggressive, violent, right? So that's one, the childhood trauma and a lot of stress combined produces this kind of people who has a hard time regulating and they produce these behaviors, right?
Yes.
Then you have the next one, which is again, genetics and upbringing too produces a person, not necessarily a mental illness, but a personality disorder. So we have the narcissism, which is very attached to violence. So narcissistic people tend to be nice in the outside, right? And they're very abusive in their home. Actually, they could even be givers, and they contribute to society. They're nice and apparently kind to people. They're givers. At home, they're abusing their children and their spouse, right? And so they compartmentalize that because they're not really good. They're just pretending to be good. But at home, that's the real them comes out, right?
Let me touch the narcissist for a minute, because there's a lot of popularity about narcissistic personalities. Are narcissists born, or is that a nurturing process that was something not going on properly that caused that child to become overly self-centered? Or is that a genetic issue that he was born with that disposition?
Yes, so there are many factors there. So that you have the genetic component.
Okay.
Also, but you have the upbringing too, that you can support that to make that person become a narcissist later on, which it shows early in the years of as a teenager, right? That's when personality disorders starts to show up as a teenager.
But doctor, many people, and some would say women, love more narcissistic men because they're very aggressive and very seemingly charming, etc., etc. And they don't find out until they live with him. But the point is that a non-narcissistic person may appear to be non-attractive as compared to the narcissistic who properly dress and everything and aggressive. So narcissists in somehow have become normalized in many ways.
I agree, and that's a big problem. That seems to be something desirable. But you have to acknowledge something though. Narcissism is a trait that is actually, we have it. You don't want someone who has underdeveloped that trait or overdeveloped. You want that narcissistic trait to be at a good level. Because the narcissism in all of us allow us to take care of ourselves, right? To look for ourselves. So that's good. It's healthy. So personality disorders are an exaggerated trait becomes so dominant. So, but our personality has so many traits in balance, which that gives you a healthy personality. So we all have that trait of narcissism, and it's okay. But you have the opposites. You have people that grew up in a family where they had to take care of everybody else, and they never developed that healthy narcissism, right? They were completely neglected. So those are the people that are attracted to narcissism. So you're talking about two extremes here, right? The narcissism, exaggerated narcissism, and you have the people that never developed no narcissism. So I always tell the parents, right? People that come and see me, okay, a child is selfish and all that. No, I said, allow the child to be selfish for a while when it's growing up, because that narcissism is going to be what they're going to make them ambitious. They're going to make them to take care of themselves, right? You have to allow that child to develop that normal narcissism in the first years of life. So every child, right, 3, 4 years old is a narcissist, right? But that's normal.
Gimme. Yes.
Yes, me. That's normal.
Yes.
But some mom says, no, you have to learn to share and you have to give, and that's not healthy. You have to allow that child to go through that stage in order to be healthy. So you have the two extremes, right?
Yeah.
I overindulge and I never make my child accountable. You feed the narcissism, and then you're going to have an adult narcissist because you overindulge. You never make this child accountable. You overfeed him, right? And then you have the other opposite, where a child is not given that opportunity to go through that stage of narcissism. The child is forced to take care of others from the beginning. So that child is what we call codependent. And these are the codependents that normally click with the narcissist. So every situation where you see a person being abused, let's say a man, a narcissist, and a woman who is codependent. That's the most cases where you're going to see in Belize. So the man is constantly violent towards her, and then she's taking it on. Right? So she's codependent and he's a narcissist. So those are the click, and they go back and forth, right? In domestic
I want to
violence.
go into this codependency because that's another issue that we have very much manifest in Belize. But it's interesting to ask you the question, since boys seemingly are more narcissistic, but are girls also prone for narcissism?
Yes.
And if they are, can two narcissistic people live together?
They will not last.
That is fire, right?
Yes. They will not last.
I would think so.
I mean, they could get together and maybe a month or a few weeks, but they will not last.
Yeah.
They will clash. And
somebody got to be the boss.
Somebody have to be a boss, and then the only way that a narcissist can last with a person in a romantic relationship is normally will be codependent.
Do you run into codependent men? And I'm sure you do.
Yes.
But codependent men with very narcissistic women.
Yes. But those is minority.
Yeah.
The majority is a narcissistic men with codependent women. But
would look
we also
for
see the other way around, but
Yeah.
it's less.
So during the courtship period, he's looking to see her behavior, and if her behavior is up there narcissistic like his, he will pull away from such a
No, in the
personality.
beginning, a narcissist will bombard you with love.
Okay.
With attention. 24/7.
Yeah.
So that's a red sign, right? I usually tell my daughters, okay, that's a
Too much-
red flag.
too much
right?
love.
Too much, like they're in a hurry to hook you, right?
Yeah.
Because the narcissist wants you as a source of to get his needs met. So he's going to invest in you, right? So let's put the example of a man who is a narcissist and a woman who is a codependent. So he's gonna bombard it. She's gonna feel so special, like he's just pouring all his attention into her, like you are the best person, we have so much chemistry, I can feel the connection with you, you're the best thing ever happened to me, and love bombing, right? Constant. So after a few months, when the other person is in love, now the narcissist slowly starts to show his true colors. But now the codependent is like, oh, but he was in the beginning, he was so nice, so she still wants that, like a drug, right? She wants that first hit,
that old hit,
right?
Yeah.
So she's always going back and forth, but I don't want to leave him because I know he's nice, but maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, and that's how the game starts.
And this can sometimes go on for years.
Years.
And then children are coming up, which means the codependent will even be more reluctant to leave such a narcissistic person.
Yes, correct. I've seen already people with 40 years together.
Wow.
40 years, woman, codependent, living with a narcissist for 40 years.
Wow.
And some of these men, after so many years, after the woman wants to leave him, the man wants to keep all the finances because obviously a narcissist is not empathetic. So he doesn't care if he leaves you with no money after so many years.
Why does that sound like some political personality to me? So
Yes.
let me explore this area.
Yeah.
Are all politicians or most politicians narcissistic?
I would
in
say
your experience?
In my experience, and I think in my opinion, most politicians are either narcissists or psychopath.
Psychopath. Please explain that word because we are having problems with the word psychopathic and the other word that is very
Antisocial personality is different.
Yeah.
So antisocial personality is the official diagnosis that you find in the psychiatry nomenclature, right? The diagnosis, the label.
The two words I want, I'm sorry, is psychotic and psychopathic.
Oh, okay. Psychosis is simply anyone can experience a psychotic episode. So if you have an infection and you just lost touch with reality, you become psychotic. So psychotic is just someone who is not in touch with reality.
Okay, and that can be temporary, or
that's temporary, or it could be more longer if you have like a schizophrenia. The psychosis can go on without medication, but once medication is given, the psychosis
can come back a little bit.
Yeah, psychosis is like hearing voices or thinking that you are Jesus Christ in person. You know, that's psychosis. You have lost touch with reality. That's in simple ways.
Okay, all right. So the psychopath now is different. So describe his.
So psychopath is not a mental illness and it's not a diagnosis, but it is something that is used especially to study. You know? Psychopathy is a personality trait, and we all have it, right?
Okay. We
all have that little psychopathic little trait, but very tiny. So a person who is, that trait is exaggerated, that's what we call a psychopath. What it means is that is the, in simple ways to explain it, is like the opposite of empathy.
Yeah.
Basically, right? So an empath visualize Jesus, right? Like he will feel what you feel. He will have so much compassion, so much love for you. Even if you hit him, he will still love you. That's an empath, right? That's the exaggerated empath. Is imagine someone who loves you unconditional no matter what you do. That's completely an empath. And then you have the opposite of the spectrum. A psychopath is that person who is nothing. They're like
can't feel,
soulless. There's like they have no soul, right? They just simply cannot feel what you feel. They don't.
A politician, doctor, if you say that you believe that they have that, most politicians in your experience have that psychopathic personality, they come across as feeling so much.
Yes, psychopaths have the ability, they mimic kindness, right? That's what they have, that diplomatic feeling, like they appear nice and they're manipulative in that sense because they always appear nice, but they don't feel it. It's like an act, right? It's empty. That's why when you feel someone who is just acting to being nice, but something tells you that he's not real, he's faking it, you have to suspect that if he's a psychopath or not. Now, you have to differentiate psychopathy with antisocial personality, because psychopathy, not necessarily we have to view it as something bad. And I will explain to you why. So first, let's look at antisocial personality disorder versus psychopathy, okay? So, not all psychopaths are antisocial personality, right? But most antisocial personality are psychopaths. So what's the difference? Okay. So an antisocial personality is someone who breaks the rules, who does a lot of damage, whether it's property damage, they steal, they always in prison. So the people you're going to see in jail, most of them are antisocial, right? So that means they don't feel no remorse, they can kill. The serial killers, those are the antisocial personality, right? But these antisocial personality people who have killed, who have steal, all those things, are psychopaths. But not all psychopaths are antisocial. So psychopathy is more of a brain wired, a person who is wired in the way that the empathy is not there. Now, why did I say this is not necessarily a terrible thing? So this is something we call successful psychopath. It could be a surgeon that he is such a good surgeon because he's not really feeling the pain of the other. So he's able to perform things that an empath cannot able to do, because when the moment I'm going to open you, I feel what you feel.
And I heard
right?
you. Yeah.
So I can't do it because I feel too much. I can't see people suffering, so I can't attend to you, right? So that's why probably most physicians have that trait a little more amplified. So that's why you can see a doctor say, okay, I'm doing something, and it seems like the doctor is not feeling the pain of the other person, right? And they have to do it, otherwise they won't survive in the job, right? So they do have that psychopathy, probably a little more, that trait a little more elevated.
Well, direct it again to politicians, because you made an analogy off air about them walking around with money available to them, but they can still see a clientele that they know they need money, but they only meet out a little bit of that money.
So imagine a politician, a country given $100 million for a project, and the politician put $50 million in his pocket. If you're an empath, your conscience will kill you. You will not be able to live. You will not be able to sleep at night. And that's why a lot of people say, no, I prefer to stay poor, not steal, because I want to sleep nice at night time. And they think, oh, those politicians that they steal, they'll probably be able to sleep. No, they sleep well. And so a person, in this case a politician in any country, right, that is able to steal so much money, knowing that has the information, knows what he's doing, knows that a lot of people will be hungry because he's putting that money in his pocket, he doesn't feel anything. He sleeps at night very well because he doesn't have empathy, right? He's able to do that. So he's using that not empathy in a bad way. But I'm saying to you that not necessarily it's always bad, because people who have to make hard decisions very rationally.
Many times
they can be they can be empath.
So you're saying it's when it is coupled with the antisocial personality.
That's the problem.
Then it becomes
yes. Let's take like lawyers. Usually lawyers, doctors, politicians are the most common professionals that have psychopathy traits elevated, right? Because there are jobs that you have to, you know, you
hold your nose and do it.
You're sentencing someone to 30 years, you know, judges, lawyers. You're dealing with a lot of suffering. And if you're an empath and you're feeling all of that,
you can't do that job.
You can't do that job.
Let's stop right there. We'll be right back after this with more of Dr. Medina.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, you know, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, you know, and that will, you know, also bring more, you know, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
You're up against some tough challenges. But not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now. Introducing Ridgeline Lubricants. A homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. Backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing hereby advises the public of the commencement of works for temporary bridge crossings at 2 locations in Belize City. The first temporary bridge crossing is being constructed near the Belcan Bridge, extending between the Belize Water Services Limited (BWSL) parking lot on the south side and the vacant lot adjacent to the Save-You store on the north side. Construction of a second temporary bridge crossing near the swing bridge between the Bottom Dollar parking area and Regent Street West is scheduled to commence during the week of May 18, 2026. Works at both locations generally include driving of foundation piles, placement of bridge girders, construction of reinforced concrete deck structures, associated marine and support works. To facilitate construction activities, barges and other marine equipment may be positioned within the Hallover Creek and may remain in place until work is completed. The temporary bridge structures are being constructed to maintain public access and traffic circulation during the planned reconstruction of the Swing Bridge and Belcan Bridge later this year. MIDH advises all mariners and users of the Hallover Creek that active construction zones will be in effect at both locations. As such, all marine vessels are hereby advised that a no-wake zone will be enforced for approximately 200 feet on either side of each construction area. Operators of marine vessels and all users of the Hallover Creek are asked to exercise caution when navigating through work zones, observe all posted signage and safety instructions, reduce speed and comply with no-wake restrictions, remain attentive to construction personnel and equipment, extend courtesy and cooperation with workers on site. The Ministry thanks the public and the maritime community for their patience, understanding, and cooperation as we work to modernize and improve the nation's infrastructure. For further information on the project, please contact the Project Execution Unit at 614-3195.
All right, welcome back. It's unfortunate that we have run out of time. However, I've already asked Dr. Medina if he will grace us with his presence. I had many questions for him, and really I've only gotten on the third question, and it's so intricate that this is not an easy conversation that we could just fly by. Many of us in this country are going through undiagnosed traumatic situations, particularly in the area of personality disorder and not necessarily brain problems. So we do hope next week we'll be having Dr. Sosa in to talk again about neurology and the brain. But this personality and issues of our mind is a very, very important topic. But we've run out of time. So I've asked Dr. Medina if he would grace us with his presence a little bit later on down the road, and he has agreed. So we'll close off this session by giving you any last points that we may not have been able to cover this morning. I'm sorry that it had to be so short, but we look forward. We look forward.
Yes, definitely we'll come back.
In your closing, can you talk a little bit about the book that you wrote? Because what we didn't touch this morning are religious people that are going through their own issues, and many of them entered religion with the belief that that will help me solve this noise in my head.
Yes.
Talk about your book and talk about that aspect in your closing comment.
Yeah. So I was telling you off camera that I wrote a book about when prayer feels empty. It's a book about spirituality, Christianity, and related to trauma. I speak about religious trauma in the book, and then how we can overcome. And all
where can we buy your book?
Well, it's on Amazon online, but also I have hard copies. But in the next episode, when I bring out, maybe I'll bring it and we'll talk a little more, because it's an interesting book in the sense that it covers a lot about trauma.
Okay.
Right? Religious trauma is in the brain, as I was explaining to you off camera, is that the brain, when you are a fanatic religious person, your brain is wired just like any other addiction. So we use...
Like any other addiction?
Any other addiction.
Wow.
So we use religion as our new fix, right? Instead of opening up to a spirituality, we just close. Like we are very fanatic, we need to protect our ideas, but we are unable to have open conversations. We are unable to connect deeper to our soul and become spiritual. We all in here, and that's what I talk about in the book. That is, you're in your head. You think that spirituality is all about what you believe in here and not what you can connect with, right? So it is a very long topic, but just an idea. I think that would be good for people.
We will explore that, indeed.
Now, what I want to say in general is that we need to normalize mental health. Just as people go and check with the doctor about, I want to check about my mental health. I don't get that. I don't get people who are, hey, listen, I just want to check about my mental health. Can we talk? And then you can tell me, what's going on and if I'm okay. We don't get that. People normally seek for counseling or for a mental health expert when they're in crisis. Just it's like you going to the doctor when you're already almost dying, right? Like no one does that.
Fourth stage cancer.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think we need to normalize mental health more, and we also need to educate ourselves a lot. We can just not simplify things, like we were talking about behaviors, like violent behaviors. We cannot just say, oh, it's because of this, or it's because he's doing like weed, or because no, it's very complex. It's many things happening. It's about trauma, which is a big thing. Remember that trauma is generational. So for the fact that Belize was also a victim of slavery, right? If that slavery generation, that is a source of trauma. And you see it still in our population, where there's this aggression to our kids because we have inherited that trauma from our ancestors and we keep passing it on. So for us to break that pattern is not an easy job, right? I'm not blaming anyone for it, but we have to make the effort how we can break that as a society, right? But all of this system, the violence from government, the violence from institutions, the violence that exists in families, it keeps this trauma alive, and we all part of it. So I'm not blaming, the politicians are the bad ones. No, even teachers are victims of trauma, they keep generating the trauma to the student, right?
Yeah.
Instead of coming kind to the student, understanding, they will shout at the student or blame the student, shame the student. That teacher is passing on the trauma. So it's not just doctors shaming a patient or teachers shaming a student or politicians, with the corruption creating violence in society or families dynamics being violent. All of that is a trauma society. So as long as we don't become a trauma-informed society, we will not do any breakthroughs, right? And become truly a spiritual society, right? We won't be able to do that if we don't break that cycle of trauma.
You've been here for over 20 years. Give us an overview. Are you sensing that we are moving towards correcting, or are we staying one place, or
no, we're stuck in the normalizing trauma.
Yeah.
Just like in a family system, they don't talk about it, they keep the same dynamics. It's still at a governmental level, a society level, we're still keeping that trauma alive, right? And you see it all the time. I see it all the time, but my wife is a victim of that institutional violence. So we see it everywhere, that this trauma, from the moment I have some power and I take advantage of you, I'm a victim of trauma, and you are a victim of trauma too. So the aggressor is also a victim of trauma, right? So I'm not saying, oh, this person is bad, right? But I'm saying that it's a system that we feed with each other, right? Yeah. Even if I'm the aggressor and you're the victim, or whether I'm the victim and you're the aggressor, we're all part of a system of violence and a system of trauma. So we need to be trauma informed and push it and push towards healing as a society. First, as an individual, I need to heal. I mean, I've been doing my own healing for over 30 years, right? And still I'm in process. And I'm sure you also are through your faith and also through your practices. Not just faith, but you have to practice it.
Indeed.
Fasting, you have to practice, you practice kindness, you try to develop more empathy. All these things, it's a work in progress, right? Becoming truly spiritual. That is the only way we can free ourselves from all this trauma cycle that, is the enemy. It's not us as humans the enemy, but it's the trauma cycle system that keep us enslaved, right? Yeah. And I think we all have that mental slavery, right? Just like Bob Marley said. Yes. We all mentally enslaved.
Still enslaved.
And that's the worst. We still are. So that's what I'm saying to you, that for us to free, we need to truly individually search for healing, as a family search for healing, and normalize mental health. Talk about it, not just keeping shame, right?
It's hard to stop talking to you, my brother, because each word that you're saying is leading me on to another. But I'll try to discipline myself and and contain my trauma this morning and push you to another level, because there's so much that is coming out of what you're saying. Yeah. So I want to thank you. I want to promise our audience that we will, in fact, ask Dr. Medina to come back and to expound on so much more healthy knowledge for us to self-cure. Much of what we have to do is self-cure. The man says he's been working on himself for 30 years. I would say I'm working on mine for 50 years. And we need to learn how to work on ourselves, because the professional help that we may want to get is just not available, and certainly not affordable to many of us. So when he comes back, we'll be asking him to share some of the techniques of self-cure that we need: the fasting, the prayer, the spending time by ourselves, as Brother General Enriquez encourages us to do. But we've got to go. So let us thank those who were with us this morning. We had downstairs Anthony Grant. Upstairs we had Harlan Wagner and Mr. Clifton Lewis. And we want you to know that the barbecue there done the sell. And it's available now right here on Partridge Street by the Amandala complex. So please come by. We want to ask you to remember to stand strong and stand focused all the time and do the right thing. And for now, we're gone!
Keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and play